And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Oh,
Hey,
all right.
hey, y'all. So it has been a little while since we have uploaded any new episodes, but that's because we had a bunch of life happened at once. And so we had to take care of our family and do some traveling that was a little bit unscheduled. So the Paid in Full podcast is back. We are here,
And we
episode
back, and we
10.
back, and we back,
Hey,
and we back.
we missed our
Oh,
audience. We were trying to figure out a way to squeeze in recording some kind of way on the road. Of
was not
course,
going to happen.
that wasn't going to happen, not especially not with the kids. So here we are. To be back in for those of you who are first-time listeners who are happening upon our podcast. We are JP and Mia of the Paid in Full podcast crew. We are a relationships and marriage-based podcast with a little bit of family sprinkled on in there. So welcome if this is your first listen to us. And to our repeat listeners, welcome back. Thank you all for continuing to kind of roll with us. And we are back on, I guess, our once a week schedule.
Happy birthday to you.
Hey, whose birthday is it?
I don't know. Probably
Oh, well, if you're celebrating a birthday, you know. I read that September is the most popular month for birthdays. Like, that's a fact. They said that there are more people born in September than any other month. You thinking about it? You think I made that up?
probably. More than likely.
Okay,
But
someone verify it for me because
it is cold. It is cold in December and January, so it was probably a lot of shacking going on.
a lot of shagging.
Yeah.
Okay, well, perhaps.
Pull
So,
out.
anywho, we're going to get into today's episode, which is a bit of a reminiscing episode for us. We're going to be talking about our wedding and some ideas and thoughts and feelings that we've had since then. Of course, it's been 11 wonderful years since our beautiful, fantastic wedding way back in on May 16th, 2010. And so we're going to be just kind of going off the dome a little bit and talking about it and making sure, listening, for the kids as well, to make sure the kids don't make any crazy noises in the background. So we're going to try to maintain some semblance of professionalism here with the kids live at the end of fall break. Let's start off. We'll kind of go do a little rehash of the day because I know your day was different than my day. Just to give everyone a little bit of context, we were married on a Sunday morning at 11 a.m. That was our start time, and we started at 11.
You don't want to go back a little bit further?
Well, you want to go back further? To what?
The proposal.
Well, we can go back a little bit.
It's up to you.
Okay. Well, you set up the proposal, so you're going to paint the picture for everybody for the proposal. Do you remember what day?
I do not remember what day it was.
You know your wife got it. It's one of those dates in my brain.
It was February the 5th.
5th. See, you do know.
It was February the 5th.
2009.
2009.
So talk to me first about your feelings. How did you know you wanted to do it that day? Because we had been looking at rings, but we hadn't, decided like, hey, we're going to do it this month. We're going to do it on this week. So
The Capricorn in me told me to do the exact opposite of what everybody was expecting. Because it was already kind of a struggle phase because we already knew that it was going to happen because my credit wasn't in line where I could have went and got the ring on my own. So we had to go get a joint credit card with at K Jeweler. So
hey.
it was already on the table. We had the family coming in for Valentine's Day.
We did.
So it was already kind of going to be cliche that Johnny was going to propose to Mia on Valentine's Day
With the family there.
Yeah. So I kind of went rogue a little bit and went randomly and got the ring on my own. Was actually just sitting at home in the dark on the computer listening to the internet. And I know that you had to work work late and you were having kind of a rough day at your job that you were doing at Kennesaw State.
I did.
So just sitting in the dark on the internet, and then actually Usher, is it No Matter?
Here I stand.
Here I Stand. Usher, Here I Stand came on, and I was pretty much like, F it. I'm finna go ahead and do it, and I'm just gonna do something silly. So what I did was basically I had took the I took the ring and put it into one of the champagne glasses that we had on the counter, and I was going to, and basically what I did is I was acting like I was washing dishes, and I got you to give me the dish, and you actually almost threw away a really expensive ring.
Yeah, I picked it up at regular speed. I picked up the glass with the intent of giving it to him to wash. So I didn't pick it up as if it was something in it. I picked it up at normal speed. So the ring jetted out across the room.
Yeah, I wouldn't have married you if you would have lost that ring.
I know.
It would have been a wrap, and you would have had to pay back.
Oh my God. It did. It flew out of there.
Yeah, so
it did. And I was just like, what in the world was that? It just flew into the air.
Yeah, so the ring fell on the ground, and then she was sitting there looking like a little lost puppy of what was going on. I guess she seen a little shiny diamond, so she asked what was that. And I asked her, I was like, what you think?
Yeah.
And
so romantic.
at that point, I didn't get on my knee. I basically just told her it was time, and we hugged and embraced.
You did say, will you marry me, though?
Okay.
You did. You said the word. You didn't have to do all the knee and everything, though.
Show me the receipts.
But you did, because it's in my brain.
Where's the video?
It was you and I. There was no video. It was our apartment. So
here we are. That's that song, right? Okay, go continue.
And so he did ask, will you marry me? And I was, already saying yes before he could finish, saying the words. We had been together 5 years, so we already knew we were growing together. We were good for one another. Johnny was making me into a better woman. It was just, the timing was just right. And our family was basically about time. Like, that was their attitude about it. Now, my mama is here. She's near the house. She's actually outside. But mama felt a certain kind of way because she wanted to see it. Because she's a hopeless romantic. And she did expect the whole, because she said she knew that it was going to happen. So she expected the entire, in the front of the family, got down on the knee. Because we were already planning to go to Olive Garden. Like, she wanted that. And so
how I roll.
JP was like, it is what it is.
16 different drummers.
So after that, I walked around a little bit, with the diamond, putting it in the air, taking pictures, putting it up against my face. Girls do. We just keep staring at it.
Snotty.
Snotty, super snotty. I was like, oh my God, I don't have a fill-in. Oh my God, look at my nails. Oh my God, he asked me, I had such a bad day. I'm hungry, but I don't know what to eat.
Down inside, I still love you.
So I got on the phone and I called mom and dad first. And of course it was, Johnny proposed. And my mom was like, Grass, get on the phone. So she was like, say it again. So they excited. So then I had to call, she was like, call grandma's. So of course, y'all, if you listen to a former episode, we had my great grandma on the episode. So she was the second person's house that I called. And, more tears, more snot. Meanwhile, JP's just over there chilling, making dinner, like it's no big thing. And I'm over there making all the calls to everybody in the land. I think I called Aunt Neil. I called several aunties. And then, of course, they started calling people. People were calling me. My phone was blowing up. So it was a whole big thing for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
it was.
My family already knew. I told them already.
So they just calling and just congratulating because I guess it was getting around. So I think your phone rang once. Mine rang like 13 times because they were just like, did you do it already? Cool.
Yeah, men don't matter.
I'm sorry. I know it is about the women sometimes in these situations. So that was that. It was not, I remember because, of course, some things are just burned in your brain. I remember how weird it felt to have the ring on. So like all night I was like moving it around, and like I was scared it was gonna get caught in my, my comforter, and all the normal
Was it like an infinity stone?
No, silly.
Thanos, you got all the power.
I was just afraid that it was gonna get snagged.
Snapped half of the single man away.
So I remember the next morning it was super sunny, and I went out on the balcony and was looking at it in the sun, and I was like, ooh, this is flawless. So I was just admiring my ring for a while. So like girls do, we do love, our little piece of forever jewelry. So I still have my original ring. When I got married, I got it fused with my wedding band so that they wouldn't spin around, because I've had several weight loss bouts. So my ring has gotten huge because I've lost, ring fat, basically finger fat, I guess. So.
Yeah, and I lost my ring probably about 3 weeks.
3 weeks after
like 3 weeks after we got married.
Yeah, so. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, that thing never came up.
Yep.
Yeah. So anywho, that was February 5th, 2009. And then, of course, we went into our engagement period where we had a couple spots that we wanted to get married at, but we settled on a country club that is now currently closed. It's closed, closed down, but it was pretty set from the moment we stepped in there. It was in a really good spot in Atlanta. They were willing to work with us.
We honestly wanted to just go to the courthouse and get married.
Yeah, it became about that, because after a while, if you all have planned a wedding before or something similar, it's just money. You're like bleeding money. So it's like, put the deposit down for the spot. Then you got to figure out how much food you need. And then that's the whole thing. And then it's all the little stuff, all the music. If you want live music, if you want DJ, if you want what kind of cake you want. Do you want 3 tiers? Do you want 6 tiers? Do you want a cake for after? Do you want to, then there's the dresses and all the shoes and then the bridesmaids. And it's a whole lot. And we were like, hey. After a while, I was 25. I was like, look, hey. And for us, it was a lot, because I'm the first girl. It was a lot of, you're going to have a wedding because you're the first girl kind of pressure on me, which is a really awkward place to be in, when I just wanted to just be married. Like, I didn't want to necessarily have this huge wedding, but it was so much for my family. It was sort of like my big fat Greek wedding, y'all. And my family really wanted us to have this beautiful wedding.
I don't know what that is either, but
it's a great movie. So her family was very involved with her wedding, because she was actually the last one. But since I was the first one, it was, hey, you gonna have this wedding, whether you want it or not.
Okay.
So
I'm cool on the synopsis. Let's continue.
All right. So that's what it was. So we went through that process. Thank God we came out of that. I think I gained weight. As opposed to losing it for my wedding dress. But hey, we did what we did. So then we pulled up on, let's go to May 15th. That was the morning of our rehearsal. And
why did we pick that day? The 16th.
Why did we pick the 16th? Did we have a reason why we picked the 16th? I thought it was because it was cheaper.
Damn.
No, it was because, remember, we were going to do the Saturday because of the 5 to 15 and the numbers, 5, 15, 10. But I thought it was because it was.
You never know a person, do you? That's new. I thought
it was because it was cheaper on a Sunday.
Ooh,
no, what was the date? If I knew, I don't remember, babe.
My intention was I wanted it to be on Mother's Day, where it would always fall close to Mother's Day.
Well, yeah. But it was the week after. We didn't put it on Mother's Day. Mother's Day was the 8th. Because Mother's Day, Mom came in on that Sunday, and she stayed that whole week. So we had it close to Mother's Day.
Okay.
So it was the week after. The week after the Sunday of Mother's Day.
But it was cheaper.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, it was. And then I wanted a spring wedding. JP suffers with his allergies, so I was like, hey, if we can avoid having an outside spring wedding, we need to try to do that. We had the option at our spot to do either outside or inside, and I was like, hey, can we have it inside? Because both of us going to be up there sneezing, looking crazy. And then we didn't want it to be hot, so we were like, hey, May, right then, mid-May in Georgia.
It was still hot.
It was still hot, but it wasn't July hot, so I didn't know. I didn't have a specific day, and then we had our colors, which was cornflower blue and basically lemon chiffon yellow. It was blue and yellow, And those are spring colors, so
Baby blue and gold.
yeah. It wasn't
It's just so
gold.
extra.
Oh,
with the
it is.
description
It is
and
lemon chiffon.
Vividity.
Thank you.
Vivite.
Anywho, that was our spring wedding. So I'm a May bride. So, and we didn't want to do it Memorial Day weekend because everybody was getting married Memorial Day weekend. So we were like, oh Lord, we gonna clash with everybody else. So that's how we chose our date. And so May 15th, we did a rehearsal. Of course, they wouldn't let me walk down the aisle, all that stuff. Like the bride can't go until the day of. So I just sat there and watched everybody. Big mistake. I should have practiced, but we'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to tell you why, because clearly I needed to practice. They wouldn't let me practice. So went through that, and then we had a sort of a big family cookout planned. Instead of us doing like a rehearsal dinner, we know our family. We want some burgers and some hot dogs and some chicken. So we were like, hey, we just going to cook out at our apartment in our little grill area in the back of our apartment. Everybody come over, we meet, we, fellowship, boom, 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 get to know each other because we're now one giant family. So so that worked out well.
Did it?
I hope so. I guess so. We were a little bit in and out because, of course, things were happening. People needed stuff. I was, picking up stuff. I had to leave, come back, leave, come back. Yeah. I think there was some issue with them thinking we were drinking. So I remember that vaguely. But I think my brother-in-law squashed that a little bit. Was like, hey, it is what it is. Just chop that off, basically. But from what I understand, they had a good time.
Yeah, it was cool.
So yeah, it was fun. It wasn't too hot out there either. It was supposed to have rained. I remember that, and it didn't, which was nice. So, the end of the evening, everybody kind of went their separate ways. They were like, "Hey, Mia, you got to leave because JP can't see you until you see him in the aisle." And I was like, so where am I supposed to go? I was like, so do he leave? Do I leave? We live together, so where do I go? And so our wedding planner, who came with our venue, she arranged for me to have a night at a hotel that was down the street from the venue.
We paid for it.
We probably did.
It sounds nice. She arranged it. Well,
but you think she put it? She slid that in there.
If she would have paid for it, then it would have been something else. But yeah, we arranged that. She set you up, but we paid for that. Continue.
Okay, well, good. It's good to know. 11 years later,
ain't nothing free.
So, she was very sweet in saying, hey, we got a room for the bride so that she can get married and have her bridesmaids and all those before pictures at the hotel. So, and it was a really nice, like, Fairfield Inn or something like that. Yeah. So, I was like, all right. So, I packed packed all my stuff, packed the giant poof dress, kissed my husband bye-bye. And, I told my dad, take care of my husband. I said, he's exhausted. We're tired. It's a lot going on. Please take care of JP. And he did. My dad was like, I got him. Don't you worry, because I'm protective over my JP. So I went to my room. My hubby, tubby-to-be, was at the house with everybody.
No, it was me solo.
Yeah, they all left out.
So next time I get married, boy, I am going to get drunk. I'm going to have strippers everywhere.
Oh, thank God.
I got none of the experience. I was in my living room by myself, tired.
Watching Sports Center.
Thinking about how all the movies lied to me about
I know they didn't.
Okay,
so they didn't offer you a stripper or nothing. Nobody said let's go to the strip club or nothing.
I wanted everybody gone because I was tired.
You were tired.
I've been directing and showing people hotels.
You had to go to the airport and stuff.
24 straight hours.
Yeah,
so,
we did a lot.
So next time I get married, boy, it's going down. DM me. It's going down.
We're gonna get married again in a few years. So.
Oh, you gonna be there?
Huh?
Nothing.
Y'all know what? Y'all better get them. Anywho, so I can't even think straight. I don't know where I am.
I want for my wedding is a big
So I was
stripper.
offered. They were mad at me. I had an auntie, and my cousin was like, "Hey, when are we gonna call the strippers?" And I was like, "I don't like strippers. So I don't like male strippers. Let me straighten that out. Okay, there's a difference." And they were like, no, we're going to take you out. And I said, no, I'm going to my hotel room and I'm going to get some sleep because I got to get up at 6 o'clock to go get my hair done. So, no, I don't want to see no male man body in my face. So they were like, oh, we just gonna go. I said, have fun, you know. So I went to the room willingly as well. And again, because it was late, it was getting late. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to get a lot of sleep, and I had to be up. I had to be at the hair salon at 6. Like, so I had to get up by 5:15ish to be able to get over to her to do my hair. So yeah, didn't get no sleep. I flipped around. I stared at the lights. I like dazzled my ring around, looked at the ceiling. I got no sleep. I probably got a couple hours because it's just anxiety and, you know, your brain just runs. And I wasn't scared. I was just like, oh my God, am I remembering this? Am I getting this? And did I do this? And it was a lot. So I remember not getting no sleep. But, you know, the alarm clock went off. I popped right up like a little Jack in the Box. Just, pew, you know, time to get hair did. And it was kind of whirlwind from there. It was hair, back to the hotel. My sisters, who were my bridesmaids, and my niece, they were coming. My little baby, my niece, who is now a senior in high school, was our flower girl. She was like 6 at the time. So they were all coming over to get the pictures. They were coming to help, like, dip me into my giant dress. So it was like whirlwind. And I was due to be at the hotel. I was due to be there at 10. They said 10:15 they needed me there because they said they were going to have you already set up because you were going to be part of helping all the guests get seated and all that stuff.
More stress and tiredness for Johnny where Johnny can't reflect. It's all going to come to a head soon.
So they had you working the streets.
I was working. So like I said, man,
It is so sad for the groom.
This next marriage.
I don't know what next marriage you're talking about,
y'all. This next marriage is going to be spectacular.
Oh, Lord.
It's going down for real.
So, anywho, so by the time I got there, they had me go through this back way, of course, and then up like 3 flights of stairs in the shoes that I had not broken in. The shoes were already like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. So I was debating back and forth. Should I just like go barefoot? And then I was like, no, because my dress was tailored to the shoes. So my dress would have been just dragging on the bottom. It was a lot with the shoes. Them shoes were not working out. Like my toes were like curled up at the sides, my pinky toes. They weren't broken in enough. But you know, I was cute. I had beat face. My hair was huge on top of my head. I had a lot of hair. And I was going to go go meet my husband.
Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. I was up ironing clothes and washing cars, being a chauffeur.
Not washing the cars. You had to go wash our car. Yeah.
I had to go get everybody from their separate hotels and
bring
follow me. It was almost like a funeral procession. So, but yeah.
My God, I didn't know it was that bad.
It's all worth it.
Oh,
end,
see,
but
it's not the stuff we talked about over the years.
And this next marriage.
This is all the behind the scenes grooms to be. I guess that this is what they do to our grooms, and we don't know. I'm like, can y'all please pamper my groom too? Because I was like a princess. They were just kind of letting me sit, and you sit there, and they were fanning me, and you need any water, and I was like, yeah, I do need some water. I started sweating. I got there. I was like, oh, buddy, this is gonna go forward. I'm sweating now. So yeah, my hubby.
It's okay.
Our officiant came up to me and was asking me, did I want to get married by Mia? Because he said, I hear everybody calling you Mia. Should I call you Mia? And I was like, is that going to be like any legal implications to that? Like, I was like, if I'm not married by my government name.
What does the paper say? What does the paper say? Why would that matter?
That was 25-year-old me. I ain't never been married before. So I was like, great. If it wasn't anything weird with legally you're calling me by my nickname and not my real name, my government name, then it's fine. It's just like people who go by like Peanut or, Pookie and them, and maybe they want to get married by Pookie and not by Reginald, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I was just trying to make sure it was going to be official.
I got you.
Because we paid a lot of money.
That's going to make my next marriage even easier.
I'm going to get him. Y'all wait till I get off this. So I couldn't do nothing. I had to just stay. My dad was like, he'll be back. I said, he can go cry in the car. So it was, I think it was 10:50. And they were like, all right, we've got, Johnny's lined up. He's down there with his brothers. He's with the officiant. We're getting ready to start. And I was like, oh, okay. That woman won't play, and I don't remember her name, our wedding planner, but she was like, boom, boom, boom. It's time to go at 11. Mm-hmm. We had people who came in after because we can see it on the on the video.
Well, they were late.
They were late. They were 11:07, 11:08. They had to wait because she said 11 o'clock.
We was rolling.
Yeah. JP, I think she asked you, didn't she?
I was trying to get this out of the way because, like I said,
out of the way.
This was not a fairy tale for me.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Well, now you do.
Oh, well, she said you told her to roll it, right? Roll on 11.
To get it on over with.
So 11 o'clock sharp. We won't no CP time. We rolled on out. Everybody started moving.
I'm trying to go to Miami because this ain't it.
Yes, it was. So there we were. So it was 11 o'clock. We got to moving. JP and all his dapper,
which was
coming down the
mistake.
aisle. We'll get there. Came down the aisle. Everybody was seated. My mom, grandmas, your mommy. Everybody came down looking gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And here I come with my dad. Cheese, because that's what I do. 24 karat.
Not listening to the beat.
Not listening. So I marched. My song. Well, we had a harpist. Her name was Erin the harpist.
Beautiful.
She could play contemporary music on her harp. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I have to have her.
And you heard nothing. You were moving on the one.
moving on the one. So I was supposed to go. I was supposed to go down to. It was Celine Dion and oh my gosh, I can't even think of the opera band.
It don't matter.
His song. It was a beautiful song. Okay,
all Mia heard in her head was.
See, y'all see him talking about me. I don't remember walking as fast as the video showed me walking. Like in my brain, I was walking at a slow pace. Mm-mm. My dad, he didn't even try to slow me down. He was walking triple speed as well. Like he didn't even try to slow me down. Like I think he was nervous too, and I think it was a lot of nerves. And then it was my brain saying my feet hurt. And then it was don't fall because of course I'm in 3-inch heels. I don't wear heels, y'all. Like I just don't. And so we went down that aisle. It didn't even get half of the first.
We should have got a discount for that because she clearly didn't have to play the whole song.
She did have to play the whole song. I got down there so fast. I was like, oh, but at the moment I didn't know I got down there that fast. Mm. I didn't know it to the playback when they sent us our DVD how fast I went down that aisle. So I got down there though. We got there. Man.
Absolutely. Which also cut into Johnny's reflection time. So
you couldn't even have time to look at me and pull it in from the universe. I was already there. I just came up so fast.
Yep. Like I said, TV shows and the movies lie. Because
you talking about me? Yeah, I got there. Mm-hmm. And of course the ceremony, I got the opportunity to map out our ceremony. So I went through, he showed me several different prayers, several different openings. Do you like this opening? Do you want another kind of opening? So we mapped out because I think that day you had to work when I met the officiant at Starbucks. So I mapped it out.
Everything is just adding up.
I know. But you were working that day.
I got called by surprise.
Oh, you did.
They set me up.
I did set you up. I went through everything. I showed you the whole thing, the whole program.
Continue.
So it was beautiful. We did our prayers and everything. We did our sand ceremony, which was nice. We poured our sand together.
Go back.
Okay. All right, reverse backwards. All right, so
nobody told Johnny that he was going first.
What you mean first? First
as
for
far
what?
as saying the vows.
The man goes first.
Nobody told me that again.
But we never been married before, so
don't
we
worry,
wouldn't have known.
This next one gonna be nice.
So
this next marriage, boy.
JP,
you live and you learn.
It was the vows, and he was like, repeat after me, because I told him that we didn't want to do them personalized. That would have been a whole lot. That would have been just over the top whole lot. So JP, in his, I think it was a mixture of nervousness and...
You putting words in my mouth.
Well, you say it, then you tell me.
You putting words in my mouth.
You tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me how it went, because I got to tell you from my point of view.
Okay, it was an absolute setup. Because nobody told Johnny that Johnny was gonna have to go first.
Y'all hear this?
So if Johnny would have knew that Johnny had to go first, Johnny would have took a little bit more time to reflect on the situation. But over the course of those 3 days before, I probably got about 4 hours of sleep. And again, you see, I was like a slave master.
Yeah.
Doing there and everything, catering for everybody.
Yeah.
Made the bad decision of choosing to wear a black suit and basically what was it?
You were mic'd.
No, that we had a microphone. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about the glass with the
we
sun.
Had the floor to ceiling windows
with the sun beaming down on me.
Yeah, it was 11 a.m.
I'm sweating like a slave. And then when it finally hit me that this was probably like the perfect day for us, because we had every single person that we loved, everybody was close, was in that one room
at that moment.
And I'm saying how much, professing my love to you in front of everybody, because from that day on, we lost people from that.
We lost people, yeah.
Like a month later, I lost my grandmother.
Yeah.
So that perfect moment hit me all at one time.
It was just whoa.
Yeah.
It's like whoa.
And then I was basically like,
He didn't make that noise. He had the wiggle voice. I call it the wiggle voice when you trying to hold it back. So
yeah, so I didn't get any time to just think about what it was.
But it kind of hit you. Well, it was an unexpected emotion.
The biggest decision of my life in front of everybody I love.
Everybody, because everybody was there.
That's a lot.
We still haven't had everybody like that in that one spot. That's what I'm
saying. And that hit me at one time.
Yeah. So, I got you.
Yeah,
he didn't make that loud noise. He made his voice was wiggling, and then when he started, I think one of your brothers started because he was trying to hide it, and then we had various people. I think my mama started. I think various people, and behind me, I could hear a lot of sniffing. I think I hear my adopted brother. He was like, "Oh my God," like I could hear him out my ear. And I'm standing there and I'm trying to console him, comfort him, but all we just holding hands. So I'm like literally like squeezing his hands and like rubbing my thumbs across him and trying to get him to, just calm.
My stomach
he was
growling. My stomach growling. I'm hoping the microphone don't pick up my stomach growling because I didn't have a chance to get anything
no
to
food.
eat.
We had no food.
They gave me like 5 grapes and a cracker and a piece of cheese.
Oh my God. Yes, I didn't even have that. I was like, I don't want to eat. I couldn't eat. Yeah, and so it was one of those like breakout where everybody just kind of cried at one time. But it was very sentimental because our officiant, he paused because he understood the gravity. And so he did slow down a little bit to let you get it. And everybody was like, well, how did you not cry? And I was like, the only thing I kept thinking about was my Mac. I got on Mac
to prepare and was treated like a princess.
I had on Mac, and I was unsure if I had makeup to fix the splotches that were gonna pop up on my face with the makeup running. So I was like, okay, you have to hold it together because we don't have no extra makeup.
Secret strippers that she's not telling anybody about.
There were no. I don't like strippers. I don't like male strippers. Now if they would have had female ones, it would have been different. So. Yeah. Anywho, so I'm just saying that's what kept me, and then I kept like staring into the ceiling, like I just kept looking up and like, okay, don't you roll out, because if I would have like ripped out, it would have been everything. Everybody would have been done. Both of us standing up there with the boo-hoos. But I was sweaty. Ooh, I had sweated through my bodice. Like that thing was sweaty. So, but it was very sentimental, and it made for a very emotionally sincere ceremony. It was very sincere because it was you and not me. Because women, we cry. You don't expect the man to cry.
Like, God damn it, Johnny, they got you. It's on film.
It's on film, and you were mic'd. So it was right there with. He got it all on the mic. But we made it through. I couldn't get my ring on. I know you remember me trying to push my ring onto my finger, and I think my blood pressure was so high at the moment that it wouldn't fit the ring that I knew fit. So I had to put it on my, like, literally just slid onto my pinky real fast, and was like, it's all good. Hey, we good. We keep it going. And then we did the sand and, all the other stuff. And I didn't, have my veil. I kept my veil off so that he could reach my face easier. And then we were pronounced married.
It was easy from there. I already looked like a PAB from that point on.
What is the PAB?
Punk ass bitch.
No, it did not. It was sincere. So it just made it that much more special. Because everybody was crying. Everybody got it. And when we watch it, of course, every year we watch it, sometimes twice a year, and you can see everybody wiping. I was like, oh, because you're JP, you're that guy, and everybody loves him. So it was sweet, y'all. So yay! So I got to speed back down the aisle, other way. Whee! Go down the aisle with me. And then we got to do cocktail hour, which was fun. We did a sweet and salty bar, which I still think is one of the best things ever, because everybody got to eat because it was 11, so it was kind of in between breakfast and lunch, and people hadn't eaten. So I was like, hey, they wiped that stuff out. It was nothing left. Well, no pretzels, no chocolate, nothing. We got to take all our pictures, so you had to help me walk around without my glasses on.
Which was another setup.
What was the setup?
The setup was to take Johnny away so Johnny wouldn't be monitoring how much alcohol everybody's drinking.
Yeah.
I do appreciate your family for being minimal alcoholics, because my family did not get that memo. So, because part of the reason it was us doing it on a Sunday morning. It was like, nobody's going to really want to get drunk this early.
On a Sunday.
So,
on the Lord's Day.
So hopefully we could get a semi-decent
we can get a refund back.
Our refund back.
Because we put $1,500 down.
Well, clearly my family is some habitual line steppers, because they stepped all over that line and went back and tried to fit as much alcohol into them.
It was an open bar, and again, it wasn't. We thought it was a good thing. It was Sunday morning, so we were like, oh, we'll get a nice little refund back. They're not going to drink $1,500 worth of alcohol.
Wrong.
Yeah, we ain't getting them back from there. It was like $1,200 or something. We were like, wait, what? Are you sure? I was like, man, we should have did a cash bar.
Thank you, Kenyatta. You made a decent deposit, but you're not done paying off your debt. So
we love you, Yachty. She's our fame. I know. So anywho, that's okay. But a lot of the wedding is for your guests. It's for your guests to have a good time. That's a big chunk of your wedding. It's 60-40 basically. So they did. I mean, they still talk about, how great it was. So, but they had snacks, and, we had the pretzels to kind of soak up the alcohol. So they were drinking and having snacks, and then it was time to eat. So, they announced everyone. We came in, we did the first dance, all of the formalities, cake cutting, all that fun stuff. Our DJ kept mispronouncing our name. And so he was going to get the business from the Paydens, because he kept saying Patton for a while, and they, started yelling it. So I think he got it when they started yelling it. And he was like, he did apologize after the wedding for that, because he was like, I'm so sorry, guys. He was like, and as many times as I talked to you, I should have known how to say it.
We didn't get a discount.
No,
so
he won't actually that much. He wasn't that much. He was on like 200, so he was good. What else do I remember? Our food was really good. JP smiled at me, because I know what he's gonna say about me and my choice of food.
No, it's not your choice of food. It's your choice of attitude. How indignant you got with that lady when she told you what we were having. So always make sure that you do research of stuff that you don't understand. So we were having chicken breast, shrimp, mashed potatoes, and haricots. So Mia didn't know what a haircut was, so she got an attitude with the lady talking about I don't want no damn haircut. What is a haircut? The lady,
he's using as a hyperbole. That's a hyperbole. I did not curse at that lady.
So the lady was like, "It's green beans, ma'am."
No, she did say it like that. She was laughing,
and then Mia got the boo boo face. So
I did not have an attitude.
Do your research.
I did not have an
Haircuts are green beans, and they're delicious.
And they're delicious. I did not get an attitude with that lady. I just didn't know what it was, and I said, I don't know if I'd be interested in eating that. And she said, they're green beans, and I was like, okay, great. So I had no comeback for that. I was like, well, that sounds delicious then. So, and then she did give us a little, the food package, and she hooked it up a little bit because we was initially having to pay per plate. And then she was like, well, we can do it this way because we were trying to be more, economically friendly. Because we were like, well, we have 100, but, we technically only had like 81 people. So
and I'll be reaching out to those people who
owe us a plate. Owe us a check.
You'll be receiving an invoice for
oh, my
for
God. Not 11 years later.
Yes.
So that was that. We had our first dance, and you had to go find the garter, which had moved exponentially up as the day went on. And so I was like, okay, I don't know if he's going to find this. My bouquet, my bouquet catch was slightly dramatic. I threw it back behind me. In my brain, the ceiling was much higher than it was. And so I ended up hitting one of the chandeliers. I hit the bouquet hit the chandelier, and then dropped, and like 5 flowers fell out of it before somebody even caught it. And then my best friend at the time and my cousin was fighting over it. They wouldn't let it go. Neither one of them would let go of the bouquet. So they was just standing there holding it. I was like, look, one of y'all gotta let go. We gotta keep moving forward. So one of them eventually gave way. But if that was just, like television, I was like, oh Lord. Yeah, and then we just got to dancing. I got to dance one song. I got to do Cha-Cha Slide, and that was it. And then they were like, it's time to go. And I said, wait, but... And they were like, it's been 4 hours. That's it. That's what you pay for. 4 hours, time is up. Literally, she came up to me and was like, all of your people are outside with their bubbles. It's time for y'all to exit out. And I was like, well, dang, I just started dancing. I got no dancing in. So, yeah. And then we got to exit in our bubbles. We got to exit out, and you had to stuff me into the cube. JP had to stuff me into our little cube at the time, but it was cute because our car was shiny, and now I know why it was shiny. I didn't know you had to wash it.
It was working.
You had to wash it the day of the wedding.
I worked the entire period.
Yeah. So, what was your most memorable moment? What's a happy, memorable moment when you think of that day? What's the first thing you think of?
I told you.
Having all the family.
Having everybody there at one time.
Yep. And that's been it. Yeah.
Because since then, we haven't had that.
And we won't, because we had some people go on to glory. So, yeah, that was a day. And then for me, to kind of back that up, your mom got to see it. Because I know Mama's eyesight got deteriorated exponentially from that point forward. But I know she got to see it, and that was a lot for her. That was a really excellent thing. Yeah, let me see. Seeing you was mine. I always just focused on you. Even when I skipped to my loo down the aisle real fast, it was like, hey, that's my guy. So that's one of my moments, because you were sitting there so cute. And I know it's sweaty. He was sweaty. Cute and sweaty. But you didn't look sweaty. Like, you didn't look like you were panting.
Yeah, it was hot.
And we were close. It was intimate for a reason. So we were all kind of close together with body heat. And the windows, they were popping.
Black and stomach churning does not match.
No.
It don't go together.
Well, that's just natural. It was, just anxiety. Because I think after that you were fine.
It wasn't anxiety. I was hungry.
Okay. We ate food. They did feed us.
There's a difference.
Yes. So we didn't get to eat, but we did eat. And then after, because we got married so early, we basically we went to the apartment. You know, everybody had set up to bring all our stuff to us, so we just basically took the cars and the gifts, and you know, just kind of like was in the middle of the floor, just like, huh, and you were like, all right, I'm gonna get out these clothes. I was just sitting there in the middle of my floor with my giant dress on, just sitting there. I was like, well, I guess I start opening up these cards because I know it's some money. So we were just opening up the cards, and I was pulling out the money and giving it to JP because we had our flight was on Monday because we were off to Miami for our honeymoon, so we didn't have to go anywhere until the next day. So I was like, "Ooh, look, 100," and I was like, just passing to JP. "Ooh, look, here's 50." And we were just stuffing them in because we were like, we got to get them into the bank before we left for Miami. So, and then I was like, okay, you got to unbuckle me, get me out of this, because I was like, hey, I'm sweated to the dress, so we are now fused as one.
You.
So he had to get help unbutton me all the way in the back to get the dress off. So, and then we went out and we rode around and found like my in-laws, and then we went to their hotel, and we were just riding around, hanging out with everybody, because we had the whole rest of the day, and no one was leaving until like the next morning. Like people weren't even flying back out until Monday. So they were like, y'all coming by to see us? So it was, you know, it was fun at that point. It was like, hey, we had a whole wedding today, and you wouldn't even have known it. We were just chilling. So, yeah, man, that was that. When I would say we would do that in the morning again, because that being able to just kind of come down from it was great. So. And then we went to Miami. So that was super too, with all of our card money, which is great. That's why we need to get married again and have some more card money. So that was super. So it funded our whole experience.
Oh,
so.
I'm getting married again.
I cannot with you. I can't. So that's the end all and the be all of planning a wedding, everyone. Obviously, they don't treat the grooms like they treat the brides, which has to change. We have to start a petition or something. That is sad. Because they were literally telling me, just sit and relax yourself. Let me know if you need anything. And meanwhile, you out there on the trenches, you know, out there digging up the garden and hanging chandeliers. So it's like, oh, no. But, you know, it's still, and probably will always be imprinted. It's a brain imprint. It's just one of those days, one of those dates that you don't forget. So whether it was good or bad, if bad stuff happened, I didn't know about it. They didn't tell me. So if anything went weird,
nothing bad.
Nothing went bad.
Nothing bad happened. I wasn't gonna allow anything bad to happen.
We had security on standby.
I've been saying our vows at the county jail, but wasn't nothing bad gonna happen that day.
Nah, it was very smooth. We had 2 photographers, and they hooked the pictures up. So up above and on the floor. We had our JP making a face. We had our DVD people. It was a husband and wife team, so they were teamed up doing the DVDs, getting all the footage, which we forever have the footage of this DVD. They put the background music to everybody dancing. I wish everybody could see this. It is hilarious to watch our family dancing. It's like urban legend at this point of them dancing on that video. So, yeah, man. So that's that. So that was 11 years ago now, 11 and a half technically. So we're rolling over the year 12 in spring. So our January anniversary will be 17 years together. So that's kind of crazy, right?
Yep.
And then 12 married right after that. So shout out to everybody doing the thing, staying together, making it work. Because this thing is rough, you know. Not just COVID rough, but just life. Life is rough. So shout out to y'all, and especially those who are 30, 40, 50 years in. Y'all, we're going to have to eventually do an episode, but maybe we'll get some feedback from our listeners and get their secrets to making it. Because it's not as difficult as people make it out to be. It's an intentional decision. You got to intentionally be married. Because if not, it's not going to work. So
Preach, Pastor.
It's intentional. So, anything else, JP?
That's all
It's been a fun reminiscing.
That's all I got for right now.
Very eye-opening experience.
I exercised my demons. I spoke my truth.
JP wants to get married again, and I don't know if I'm going to be there.
I'm getting married again. If you choose not
He
to
said I'm not sure if I'm going to be there. I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna have it all. So if you are interested, shoot me an email and I'll give you the details.
I know. We're gonna potentially be doing a vow renewal, potentially.
Correct.
Since we missed 10 because of COVID.
Yeah,
COVID
of
little
course.
big head self in the way.
Of course,
So
because we still married.
yeah, he just wants to have another wedding. That's so you got to do it a do over, and that'll be good. That way you can get pampered like the bride. You need to be pampered too.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that. We'll see what we can set up. Y'all should see this face he giving me right now. All right. Well, thank you all for listening to our 10th episode. Please come back and listen to us. We will be back in a week to update you on something lovely that we'll come up with as the week goes forward. The kids and I are going back into school after being off for a week, so I'm sure I'll have some material based on that alone coming back in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, please send it to our Gmail at paidinfullpod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Paid in Full Pod on all 3 platforms. We will do better to update those because the Twitter hasn't been updated in a couple of days. So
That's your department.
it is. I'm the Twitter department. So, at us, save us, be friends with us, follow us, all of the above, all that jazz. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll be in next time.
Peace.